Hey, this is Pierre Villaco talking. For once, I'm in the admin portal of Microsoft 365 just to show you definitely a huge, very useful tool that comes in commercial environment. Not in GCCI yet, but it will come probably sooner than later. So it's called Adoption Score. So Adoption Score, unfortunately, in my tenant, I don't have a lot of data because it's a demo lab. It's a demo tenant with not a lot of interactions, but you will have access to the scores that your company is ranking compared to the bench to the peer uh, your peers in the industry. So you can see that, for example, this tenant is very low because we don't use it actually, and you have different scores. So one for communication, one for meetings. Here, since we're never using it for meetings, we don't have anything. Content collaboration, teamwork, mobility, endpoint analytics, network connectivity, apps help. So it can be very, very useful. A lot of insight, very interesting insight. So just let me show you how you can leverage that. So you have a lot of signals that are analyzed, but what is even better, and I'll show you a few of them. So for example, if you want to see if people are using email instead of chat in Teams or community in Yammer, or if people do people are using add mention in emails because it's better to add mention because it will send a notification within Outlook and you'll notice it better than an email. You can see if you're chatting more than you're having conversation in channels. So here it's strange because usually you have way more chats and channel conversation, but since we're not a lot of people here, it's totally understandable. So, and you have all the signals. But what is really interesting is this new feature. There's some recommendations, and actually it triggers another. I don't know if it's another product, another service, which is part of Adoption Score. I'm not sure, but here you can do a few things. So here, for example, this one, encourage people to communicate using Teams. So that's a pretty good one because if you want people to use Teams more than Outlook, for example, then you can create a message to encourage people in your org to use Teams to communicate. So let's see what's happening here. So you go through a wizard and you can create. So you can see that the we're gonna create and share messages with users and encourage them to use Microsoft 365 in ways that help increase their organization adoption score. Um, and obviously, Microsoft is recommending to use Teams in general, but there's other recommendations for OneDrive and other tools. So what to expect? So when we create the message, we can select the following: which action you recommend the user to take, which users to include or exclude, or the time frame that the message is going to be active. So let's see what's going on here. So here you have an example of, you know, this is where the measure, the message will appear, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook, desktop ribbon message. So you will have a message here in the ribbon. So what kind of message? Select the message format. So a message for you and me. And so unfortunately we cannot customize it, but we can say use Microsoft Teams to embrace real-time collaboration. Open Teams. Well, slightly different message. We will learn more, and the message is a little bit different. Connect with your colleagues by sending message in Teams. So let's do this one. You have several one. You can preview the message, and I guess I can open Teams, but I'm not going to do it. And then click next. I can apply filters if I don't want everybody to receive it, so I can decide, who's going to receive it. So I can decide if it's a group, what group it is, and so it's searching for group. Here I'm not going to do it, but you can filter by audience. Uh, you can filter out some people like a user with priority accounts. I'm not sure what it is, but and omit users by group. Same thing. You can exclude some people that are not in your group. So you can say I want everybody except I don't know the VP because they don't like to receive that kind of message or whatever. So you have a hand on it. Then you can say when it's going to start. So let's start it today. Oh, did I succeed here? I'm not sure why it's not validating my date, starting date, end date. So let's put the end date first. So I guess I cannot do today. I'm not going to be able to show you the result in this video. Maybe I pause it and I'll finish it another time. Sunday, and it finishes Tuesday. Select interval, so your message will be visible for the entire duration of if the user ignores it. If the user dismisses the message without taking action, it will reappear according to the frequency. So often I want this message to come back. So let's say every week. And then next, and then review details finished. So I'm unboxing that, so not sure that is, what people will see. Okay, I can preview it. So it's, I guess it's a summary of what has been decided before. So I can do that first. So that's one thing. And then people, when they're going to open a document next week, they will see that. So another one is, let's go back to my adoption score um, in content collaboration. So I can encourage people to create files in SharePoint and OneDrive. I can encourage users to email files with cloud attachments. That's the one I think is very important to monitor. You can look here in the data if people are attaching um, email, attaching documents in email. You don't realize I worked with a lot of customers and they're close to 98%. I have one customer who's 100%. So where people don't just leverage OneDrive to store their files when they're sending an email, and that's very, let's say, bad. So here, if you want to encourage them, so obviously you can do a communication campaign, but you can leverage this feature to take action. So same thing, you're gonna go through a wizard, same thing, same thing. So the user will see in Outlook this message. And what message? So email links to files in the cloud instead of attaching files directly to increase security. No, I don't want to threat them with security. Email links to file in the cloud allows you to collaborate with your coworkers in real time. That's a good one. Email links to files to cloud to collaborate in real time. So let's take this one. I guess I can preview the message. So here's the message they're going to see in Outlook. Message coming from admin. So I cannot change. It's too bad that I would like to change the message or the header of the message, but we can at this stage. Okay, so that's what they're gonna see, and they can click got it, learn more. So it's some sort of ad in the app about, hey, do you think about, because a lot of people don't know that. Uh, so I'm gonna click next, and same thing, I can apply filters, I can omit users and make groups, so I'm not gonna apply any filters here. Can specify a date, so I cannot do it for today, I'm gonna do it for, so apparently I cannot do it on the weekend. Oh, yes, I can. Not on Saturday. So it takes 2 days to start. And so this one I wanted to keep for a long time. And I want, uh, yeah, almost I would like every day, but I'll take once a week. And I can't, oh, I didn't see in the previous screen I can scale this, but here I'm going to save and close it. So what's going to happen? And so you have other uh, features like that. So I encourage you first to check adoption score, look at the scores, and look at these new recommendations. Um, I don't know if there were other recommendation here. For example, I don't know what's the recommendation to encourage people to create files in SharePoint. Maybe we can look at uh, what 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 they suggest. So it's great. There's going to be a message which is Save files to OneDrive. Yeah, that's a good one. So let's do this one too because you want people not to save their files on their computer and unless it's in OneDrive. Oops, I'm going down here. I'm not sure why. So let's try. Let's try to do next, start date. No start date. It's gonna be as soon as possible. End date. Let's do it in December. And let's give them a month. Next. And save. So really encourage you, sorry about that. I encourage you to go in the reports, adoption score, check your adoption score first. And when there's a recommendation, you can activate it. Look at the scores. Let's see if there are other important teamwork. So what the teamwork is about. Um, okay, so that means there's not a lot of engagement. Okay, so again, when you see recommendations, that's a new feature in adoption score. Try it. You can try it from a subset of users since you can filter. So you can try first with a subset of users, and then if you feel it's satisfying. But what you should look at after is how the adoption score is evolving. So there's also adoption scores on mobility. I don't know if there's any recommendation for that. Oh yeah, you have that on Outlook Mobile. That's pretty cool. And so I don't know what's gonna happen here. So it's in Outlook. People will see this message. Stay up to date accessing Outlook email on your mobile device. So that's gonna be, oh, the message, there's no preview for that. But I'm not gonna look at all of them, but you can definitely look and investigate in adoption score to all the dashboards. Very useful one. The endpoint analytics can be useful just to check if it's not activated. Oh yes, it is. Um, so to see if there's any problem with your endpoints. And the final one, I think there's one last one. Oh no, two last one. The network connectivity. Sometimes we have customers who have issues uploading document in OneDrive or in network connectivity, so that can help to have some data regarding the network connectivity. Since it's a demo environment, I don't have anything here, I guess. And the last one was the app one. I keep clicking the wrong link. And the apps. So the app health. Uh, so for example, you can check if people are in what channel they are, the Office version. Okay, and explore more apps health insights. So you can see, if people are in supported version or not. So if people are not, that's not a good thing. Um, okay, so that's more details. So check the adoption score. Obviously, you probably already know the usage score where you can look at each application and see how it's consumed. But the adoption score is definitely, to me, it's very powerful to measure adoption and see where you need a boost. And there's now tools that can put some ads within Office application, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook to show a message directly using those tools. So the users who might have missed your communication or the training or whatever you try to do with them, they will see it for a period of time that you can define within their apps. And so they might realize, oh, yeah, I didn't know that I could add a link in OneDrive instead of attaching my document email. Hope this was helpful.